From the Thinkubator at the Tech Valley Center of Gravity, this is STEAM Powered Saturday, a free, monthly event where children ages 4 to 12 and their families are invited to visit us for a fun, creative, hands-on project. These mind-expanding projects help children discover creative play through science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. Now your host, Dan the Science Man.
A while back, we learned about chromatography, which is a process that scientists use to figure out what things are made of. Today, we're going to explore another process that can be used to learn about chemical properties, pH.
The pH scale is a way of measuring how acidic or basic a solution is. Knowing whether a substance is an acid or a base lets scientists know how it will react when mixed with another substance. Acids and bases are defined by the hydrogen ions that they lose or accept. An acid is a substance that gives away hydrogen ions. A base is a substance that accepts additional hydrogen ions. pH is measured on a scale of 0 to 14. Substances with a pH below 7 are acids. Those with a pH above 7 are bases. Neutral substances, such as water, are neither acids nor bases. They don't lose or accept hydrogen ions. They have a pH of about 7. Scientists use an indicator to determine if a substance is acidic or basic. There are a few different types, but the simplest type is litmus paper. It changes color depending on the pH of the substance it comes in contact with. Most people don't have litmus paper at home, but that's okay though, because we are going to make our own.
Before we start, let's talk about safety. We're going to be working in the kitchen today, but we can't eat any of our experiments. We're going to be working with turmeric, which is a spice that's normally used for cooking, but it has this really cool property that it changes color when exposed to a base and stays the same color when exposed to an acid. So, by mixing this with different substances, we can figure out whether that substance is acidic or basic. Now, turmeric will stain clothes and countertops, so make sure you're wearing clothes that can get dirty and that you've covered any surfaces that you don't want to get stained. We're also going to be working with hot water, so make sure you have an adult help you with that. To make our pH indicator, we're going to be mixing turmeric and warm water, so we'll need something to mix those in and then something to stir with. We will also need coffee filters cut into rectangular strips, but you can also use pieces of paper or paper towels. There's two different ways we can make this indicator, either as a liquid or as a paste. So we're going to try both options just to see what works better. We're going to mix about a teaspoon of turmeric for a 1/4 cup of water. And then for the paste, we're going to mix a teaspoon of turmeric with just a little bit of water, just a splash. So we're going to take the warm water, pour in about a 1/4 cup, and then for the paste, we're just going to drop in a little bit of water. Mix those both up. The paste should come out something like a glue or a paint, maybe even like a watercolor will be fine. Once those are mixed thoroughly, we can make our indicators. So for the liquid, we're going to dip our coffee filter or paper into the water, let that soak into the paper, and after a couple seconds, pull that out and set it aside to dry. Now remember, turmeric will stain whatever surfaces it goes on, so you might want to use a disposable plate to let your indicators dry. And then for the paste, we're going to try to use a paintbrush to, let's try a different one, paint the paste onto the paper. So this will have a higher concentration of turmeric. There'll be more turmeric on the paper. So as we're trying different substances, this might change color easier, or we might notice changes in color easier. So we'll try both and we'll see what happens. And you can make as many of these indicators as you want. you're going to need one indicator for every substance that you want to test. Once our paper is dry, we can begin our experiment. Now, like good scientists, we need to keep track of our results. So I made a chart that lists out everything I'm going to test and a space to record whether or not it's an acid or a base. Today, I'm going to be testing out baking soda and lemon juice. All we need to do is dip our test strip into a liquid and then set it aside. Now, it might take a couple minutes for something to happen, so give it some time. If the liquid is a base, it is going to turn red. But if it is an acid, it's not going to change color at all. It's going to stay yellow. So I can already see the baking soda turned red really quickly. So we know that that is a base. And so far, I'm not seeing any color change on the lemon juice, so we know that's an acid. So think about all the different things that are in your kitchen and see if you can predict whether or not they're going to be an acid or a base. Acids usually taste sour, whereas bases usually taste bitter, or they feel slippery or slimy. So, see what you can find, make an experiment plan, have an adult help you, and let us know what your results are. We want to thank the Albany Society of Engineers Foundation for their generous ongoing support of Steam Powered Saturday. Our special virtual editions are brought to you through additional support from GE Healthcare in Troy, New York, and Agora Media. We'll see you next month on Steam Powered Saturday.